So hello everyone, good evening, welcome to EduTap and welcome to Perspective 360 degree. The class is there. Previously, one day before, I think we had some technical problem. If my audio is clear and the video is clear today, then kindly let me know in the chat section and then we'll begin today's class. Kindly let me know in the chat section if everything is clear. Okay, so I get some hello Rohit, hello Dipanshu. I hope all of you have been posting answers to the previous video that was aired yesterday. Our yesterday's video on the previous topic, it got delayed by one day because of some technical issues, and today we are with another topic, that is annual status of education report, and let's see what we have here today. Okay, so first of all, let me take the pen so that I can instruct you side by side. Basically, in Perspective 360 degree, we guide you for current affairs, descriptive writing and answer writing evaluation. So that is the one-stop solution for all your problems related to descriptive writing, especially for regulatory bodies examination. So first of all, news regarding ASER 2023. It is commonly known as ASER report. That means the impact report. This is released by Pratham Foundation after every 1 year. That means it was released in 2023 also, but this year they're covering the gap year basically, and they have brought some new observations which they usually don't do. So this report and this foundation is very important for your exam, and we'll look at what relevance it has with regards to your syllabus. Okay, so Indian Express basically covered ASER 2023 Pratham Foundation's survey report released. This is again from Express. It says that ASER 2023 survey results show gaps in learning. Technical access is an avenue beyond schools. In Hindustan Times also, it has been said, according to the report, that 1 out of 5 youth are unable to name any job that they aspire to do. That means they do not have career aspirations. They don't know what to do in their careers. Now moving on, this is again from The Hindu. That we have, first of all, let's look at its relevance from the exam point of view. For RBI Grade B, there is a topic called social structure in India. Now, under social structure in India, as in NABARD, there was a topic on education which has been removed from your RBI Grade B syllabus. Though it is not explicitly mentioned, but topics like education and health, they form an implicit part of your syllabus. So you should definitely consider covering this report. And thank you, Mins, and all of you, thank you for your patience. For SEBI Grade A, for the English writing skills part, this is very, very important. Now, we always say that the topics which are not explicitly given in SEBI Grade A syllabus, they are important. But this report, you know, even when you sit for interview, you can quote this report anytime, and if you are aware of the latest data, you can use those findings, especially in your essay examination. So first of all, let's look at the expected question. This is going to be a tough one today. Briefly highlight the focus and observations of Annual Status of Education Report 2023. Provide a way forward for the issues brought to light. Answer for 600 words for 15 marks. So first of all, sharing the answer blueprint with you. This is a blueprint developed by EduTap experts. We start with an introduction, then we continue with the main body, and then we finally wind up with a conclusion. In the main body, the actual content of the question which is in demand, that gets covered. In the introduction portion, what you talk about is basically a brief overview of the topic under discussion, and in the conclusion you give a way forward, you give solutions. Now see, in this question, first of all, let's focus on the introduction. In the introduction, you'll talk about general overview and background of the ASER report. And in the body part 1, of course, the observations will be talked about. Now, I told you that in the conclusion, you have to write a way forward or you have to give solutions. Now, as you can see, a way forward has been asked as part of the answer. That means your 15 marks are equally divided between observations and way forward. Hence, we'll ascribe a definite body part, that is body part 2 for the way forward, and then we'll proceed with a conclusion or a summary of this report. Okay, so first of all, talking about the introduction. See, talking about introduction, ASER report is released biannually. That means once in 2 years, and it is released by Pratham Foundation. Pratham Foundation, basically it's an NGO. Now many of you ask me that, ma'am, are the reports of all organizations or all NGOs important? The answer is no. But this ASER report, which has been brought out since 2005, it provides the most advanced and the most accurate data with regards to foundational learning skills in rural India. So first thing you have to remember is it focuses on foundational learning. Secondly, it focuses on observations with regards to rural area. And you will be surprised to know that even when the government of India or government of any state formulates policies with regards to education in the country, they keep in mind the latest ASER report by Pratham Foundation. So as part of Pratham Foundation, you have a wing in the organization which is called ASER wing, and that goes from one household to another, and they carry out these surveys. First of all, you should remember that these are surveys. This is not a census. So all students or all the parts, let's say they're covering this year 14 to 18 years of age group, all the people will not be covered. It's a survey. So just a few people are taken into account, and hence the data is extrapolated. Okay. And it is a household survey that they carry out to bring out data on an year-to-year basis. Now see, I told you last year ASER report was brought in covering data of 2022. So 2022 data is released in 2023. Now the next report will be released in 2025, and that will be covering data of 2024. So they give 2 years in between. But why this report has come up? Because this time they are covering some other age group which they usually don't cover. Okay, so it is different from the previous year ones. The age groups are very different. So the annual survey of education report survey is carried out by Pratham Foundation, and it is a nationwide citizen-led household survey. This is something you have to remember, that provides the status of children's schooling and learning in rural India. Why is it a household survey? Where do we receive education? Where do children receive education? They receive that in schools. So the members of ASER Foundation, they should be going to schools to carry out surveys. But no, they don't go to schools, they go to households. They go to the houses of children, because they also want to take into account the children which are actually not going to school, are not receiving education, or are absent from school. So this is a household survey. Kindly remember that it is not a school-based survey. Okay, this includes children enrolled in different type of schools, government, private, and other kinds. All the school children are covered, as well as children which are currently not in school. Okay. Now, ASER remains the only annual source of data on children's learning outcomes available on scale in India. It is also the only large-scale assessment that focuses on children's foundational skills. No other organization, not even Government of India, is providing such a level of accurate assessment. Hence, as I told you, government relies on this data. This is considered official, authentic data for government policies, for your essays, for whatever exam you want to write. And it is the oldest survey. It was first implemented in 2005, oldest survey with regards to foundational learning and education in the country, and well regarded for the range of insights it provides on levels of foundational learning at the elementary level. Okay, the observations are used by the government while formulating policies. This is something that has been made clear, and here there is something missing, but don't worry, I'll read this out for you. When you get the PDFs, there won't be a problem of the layout. So the basic nationwide ASER survey is conducted every alternate year, and the age group of 3 to 16 years is covered. This year they are taking age group of 14 to 18 years because this is a gap year for the ASER report. So 3 to 16 years of age group and 5 to 16 years, and their foundational learning. Can they read in English? Can they read a basic text in their regional language? Can they carry out basic mathematical operations like addition, division, subtraction, multiplication? Yes, it is as simple as that, and you will be astounded by the results that even basic division or basic reading is not viable for many of the youth in our country, and they are unable to carry that out. Okay. So now this is a snapshot from the website of ASER. It says the mission of ASER is, ASER Center builds the capacity of individuals and institutions to measure at scale, understand, communicate and act upon the findings of the reports. Okay, so first of all, measure to understand, this is provided by the ASER report. Understand to communicate, and communicate to change. So basically they give out report on like after every 1 year, after every 2 years, and why do they carry out these assessments? To bring out change in the society. They hope that the government will bring out policies which create change in the education system of the country. Now moving on to the let's delve deeper section. If you have any additions to make till here, then kindly let me know in the chat section, or even if you have any doubts, I'm open to taking the doubts today. Ma'am, today there was an editorial related to the education. Yes, means we have compiled the points related to education which you read in the editorial. If you still feel the need to read the editorial, kindly do that, and that is for all of you. Kindly do not give up on reading newspapers, though we compile all the facts and information in perspective 360-degree discussions, but still knowledge of basic language, how to write an essay, how to write an article, that is very much important, and that you learn only when you read editorials and newspapers. Okay, so moving on to the body part 1, talking about observations of ASER report 2023. So first of all, this was again one of the things that was covered by ASER, those who have their own smartphone. So look at this age group 14 to 18 that has been covered, and males and females are being covered in the ASER report. So as you can see that people who are 18 years of age, 80% of people who are 18 years of age, they own a smartphone, and that's not a bad thing, because ASER report has focused on digital education a lot, that how many people out of these who own smartphones are using smartphones for digital education. Okay, now out of these just 40 like if you talk about the entire 18 age group, 58.6%, that is close to 60% people own smartphones. Out of them, 80% are 80% males have smartphones in the age group of 18, and females who are at the age of 18, only 40% females have access to smartphones. So what is the importance of this? This will be covered in a while. First of all, you should remember for your exam point of view that this year ASER focused on the youth, that is 14 to 18 years old, because youth is the youth can be the future of tomorrow. Youth can be the harbinger of change in the society, and hence 14 to 18 years old have been covered in this report. As I told you, ASER covers 5 to 16 year age group when it carries out its when it brings its flagship report, that is once in 2 years. But this year, since this was not the year of flagship report, so they have tried to focus this gap year on youth, their skills and everything. So household survey was conducted among rural students aged 14 to 18 years in 28 districts across 26 states, and as you are aware, only 28 districts were covered. The entire country was not covered. And what they were checked on: foundational reading, that means being able to read a text in their vernacular language or regional language, and arithmetic abilities. Here division was focused on a lot. So additionally, with the growing demand for digital literacy, ASER also captured digital access and skills in rural India. So four things were focused on. The first one was activity. What are the activities which youth is engaged in? So there can be n number of activities that the age group 14 to 18 years is carrying out. What do you think when you see people around you who are between 14 to 18 years of age group? What are they doing? What are the activities they're engaged in? Are they going to school? Are they in college? Are they taking some vocational training? That means some skill based education. Are they preparing for some exams, or are they working? So kindly let me know in the chat section what you think is the percentage here like. Talking about aspirations, what are the aspirations of this age group between 14 to 18 years of age? Are they, what do they aspire to become? How much do they want to study further, or do they want to give up on their studies? And do they have any role models? Now see, this data can appear very verbose. It can appear that why is it important? Trust me, ASER is one of the most important reports that you should cover for your examination journey. Then the third one here is awareness and digital skills. So you must have seen, we talk about jokingly that even toddlers today can operate mobile phones, they can operate computers. But what are they? What kind of digital skills does the youth of the country carry? So awareness of digital technologies and platforms. And most important question, what do they use smartphones for? Are they using it for gaming? Are they using it for entertainment? Or are they using it for studies? The fourth one is ability to apply foundational skills. Can they carry out basic mathematics? Can they read what is the prescription or what is given behind a basic packet of medicine? So basically they were given many youth of the country, they were given a packet of ORS and they were asked to comprehend what does this mean, what is written behind the packet of ORS. Because from youth it is expected that, since so many resources have gone behind their education, hence they will be applying, they will be using it to help the society and to help their own life. So ability to apply foundational skills to daily life situations. For example, can they perform some basic digital tasks on smartphones? For example, adding numbers using calculators, using some basic apps. Can they do simple computations that are needed in daily life, like calculating interest payments or discounts? And can they read and understand simple instructions like those on medicine packets? How many of you can do it? I know many of you might not be in the 14 to 18 years of age group. Even if you're not, then kindly let me know how many of you can carry out such basic activities when it comes to the ability. Now, focusing on actual status of youth activities. The first one is status of youth activities, that a higher promotion of females than males were doing household work daily. So we talk about household work of our mothers going unrewarded, going unpaid. So it is the trend between 14 to 18 years of age group also that more females than males are performing household work. And if males and females they're doing anything outside their household work, that means in this age group if they are doing anything else to, let's say, earn money, then they are focusing on family farms or they are working for their parents. Okay, the exact percentages are not very important. I will tell you which percentages are important. So first of all, females are doing most household work. Secondly, even if males and females are not doing household work and they're working outside, then they're working on their family farms or they're working for their parents, that means in family businesses. Then what are the aspirations of youth? So if we talk about men, the two most popular choices are army and police. And kindly let me know in the chat section how does it resonate with your aspirations. So 13.8% of boys and young men want to join the army and 13.6% want to join the police. Rest of the careers hold very small weightage, so we've not mentioned here. And if you talk about girls and young women in the 14 to 18 years age group, then they either want to be a teacher or they want to be a doctor. So that is these are the aspirations. Role models are different for everyone, so we have not mentioned the list of role models here. Then what is the age gap in enrollment? So they say that there is less enrollment is good because 86.8% of this age group, they are enrolled in some or the other educational institution, but gender gaps in enrollment, they are small but they are prominent, but there are different prominence is very high by age. So the gender gap in enrollment, that has reduced. Now choice of streams. So medical, non-medical, commerce, the biggest question or the biggest doubt of a person in like 9th standard or 10th standard. So what are the choice of streams? And here I want to tell you that STEM fields, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, these four are the streams which hold a lot of jobs in the country. It is said that if you graduate in science, you will never be unemployed. Either you can definitely take tuitions or join some company. So four fields: STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Enrollment rate for these fields for females, that is very, very low according to this report. So most people in this age group, they were enrolled in arts, humanities streams where jobs are very less, and in class 12th or higher, more than half are enrolled in arts, humanities, and females are less likely to be enrolled in STEM fields. Then talking about status of vocational training, how many of the people in this age group are preparing themselves for the industry? So only 5.6%, only 5 75.6% of the surveyed youth are taking vocational training or other related courses, and they're mostly taken by the youth at college level. Technically around 17 18, between 17 to 19 years of age, a person joins college if there are no backlogs. So only the college going students, that too just 16%, they are taking some vocational training, others are not. Most of the youth are there taking just short duration courses which are less than 6 months, and that means high order skills are not provided. Then assessment of basic skills and literacy levels. Assessment of basic skills and literacy levels, as I told you, they're counted with the help of English and maths for English reading skills and division problems. So let's begin. About 25% of this age group cannot read a standard 2-level text fluently in their regional language. For example, if you're somebody who's from Maharashtra and Marathi is your regional language, then out of the youth between 14 to 18 years of age who have been surveyed, they cannot read a Marathi book which belongs to class 2. So that is, very astounding. Since in India we follow a 3-language formula, the aim is to promote regional languages also. So that is, very surprising. So across enrollment categories, females do better than males in reading a standard 2-level text. As you can see, according to the percentages, females are better at reading. Now talking about English, 57.3% can read English sentences. So, still that is close to 60% only. Rest of the 40% youth cannot read basic English sentences. And out of those who are able to read, 73% are able to understand the meaning. So that is fine. Those who can read, they can also understand. But 40% of the people, of the youth in the country, they cannot read in English. Talking about division problems. So, I think division, yes. So more than half among 14 to 18-year-old youth struggle with division. That means if you have to divide a 3-digit by 1 digit, for example, if you have to divide 365 by 5, how simple or how tough is that to do? So they say that only 43% of the youth, they are able to divide a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number. So all these data points can be quoted in your answers, in your essays. Just pick up your favorite data point and use them in like other parts of your answer writing. So in 2017, when they carried out a survey for 14 to 18 years age group, that was the last time they did it for that age group. That time this percentage was even lower and it was around 40%. Still there is not much improvement in like division skills of people. So applying foundational skills to daily life, being able to read English, can they comprehend what is written behind an ORS solution? So yes, 65% of people were able to read functional instructions on a packet of ORS solution. Then digital divide in smartphone proficiency. That means how good people are in using smartphones. Do they know the basic things or not? So about 90% of the surveyed households, they had smartphones. I'm not talking about youth here, we are talking about households. So out of the surveyed children, almost 95% boys and 90% girls, they knew how to use a smartphone. And out of these people who knew how to use a smartphone, 2/3 reported that we are using it for educational related activity. For example, watching videos related to studies, solving doubts or exchanging notes. Rest 1/3, that is close to 33.3% youth of your country is not using smartphones for any educational activity. They're just using it for entertainment, gaming and other activities which do not aid their education. So these are some of the observations. Before moving on to the body part 2, that is way forward, I want to ask you that what do you feel about the youth of the country right now? What are your observations? That are these results good, or improvements are needed, or challenges are there on many levels? What do you think? Let me know in the chat section. Okay, Mins is writing that mainly engaged in phones. All right. So do you think 1/3 of the youth being engaged in smartphones for no fruitful activity? Only 5.6% of the youth is gaining some vocational education which will make them industry ready or ready to take up jobs. Many of the youth don't even know what kind of stream they want to choose, and most of your youth, they are not involved in STEM fields for which jobs are in plenty. They are in arts or other fields. So Lucifer says that improvements are definitely needed. I second you. The Panshu says challenges are there to effectively use smartphones. That's right. Also, households own smartphones. People are not owning smartphones. So do you think that is a challenge? So now moving on to body part 2, that is our way forward. So first of all, if I was in your place, the first thing I can see is that, career goals are not very clear amongst the youth of the country. Secondly, being able to read and understand in a language in which they have been taught, or a language about which they have been taught, should be there, especially amongst the youth of the country. Thirdly, basic numeracy skills, that is basic division, 365 by 5, 3 digit by 1 digit, that should be very, very clear. Fourthly, as we can see, smartphone penetration is very high, hence the government can run educational programs online as compared to the situation that was there during the COVID-19 pandemic. Penetration of smartphones is higher in the country. So digital education initiatives can prove to be very, very successful. And experiential education is necessary by which students would understand their aspirations correctly. Yes, Lucifer, that is a very, very creative point, and we will definitely use that. First of all, reorienting vocational education. That has to be, if you remember the new education policy. So as part of new education policy, vocational education is made a part of your basic or regular education. So only 5.6% are enrolled in vocational courses as highlighted in the report, and NEP needs to be brought up in focus, and vocational education should be the focus of government. And ITIs, polytechniques and local industry institutes, local industries, they can be used to provide such training courses, especially long ones. Skill labs, especially as provided by Niti Aayog, they should be set up and created in the schools by a hub and spoke model. What is hub and spoke model? One organization or one school will be the center of all activities, which will have all the facilities, and it will be a guide for all the subsidiary schools in a particular area, so that development can be brought with the help of leadership of one school, which will allow other schools to use the facility. Higher educational institutions should offer vocational education either on their own or in partnership with industry. So many of us, we have good degrees, I would say. Somebody has a BSc, somebody has a BTech, but most of us, we are not employable in the market, or we are not employable at the salary we prefer to get employed at, or at the conditions we prefer to get employed at. So it has to be included as part of curriculum in higher education, vocational education or skill-based education, so that even a 3-year degree, even when a person from any place in India, when they graduate after 3 years or 4 years, they should be able to find employment, because that is one of the aims of education in a developing country like India. So empowering underprivileged learners, this is this will be brought in focus, that underprivileged people, they need to be able to study while working to earn a living. Now, if the conditions of a family are poor, hence the kids of that family, they cannot serve their aspirations. They either recently there was a film on OTT platforms, it was called 12th Fail. So for people to have big aspirations, or to experience social mobility, or to make their dreams come true, they have to work side by side, they have to work menial jobs also. So such underprivileged sections of society need to be focused in, either it's the poor or working children, not working children, that's illegal, but working youth, that needs to be focused on. And open schooling and digital technology has been identified. This is a way forward given by the report. This is a powerful combination to bring out change. Now, a need for non-formal education. Now, there are so many people who graduate, who clear 1 to 2 years of graduation, but in the third year something wrong goes in the family, something unfortunate happens in the family, and hence they cannot get back into the education system further because it's too formalized. So there is need for non-formal education to supplement the formal processes of education or fulfill other needs. For example, the example here is agriculture, or broadly natural resource management is a subject that is not offered in rural schools and colleges, at least on the scale that it should be. Now let's say if a person has the ancestry of farming or farmers in his family, then she will be able to take up education which is based in agriculture, and maybe he and his family has developed some advanced methods of farming which can help the agriculture of the country at large. So such non-formal education that needs to be developed, especially with regards to agriculture, because that is where most of the people are employed. And this is a strange finding that out of all the rural students, only 0.7% of rural students are studying agriculture. And it should be very different, that at least 50 to 60% of the rural students, they should be engaged in studying agriculture, because that's the best field for them, because they have experienced it, they have learned it through their family experience and through their own experience. So that is where your need for non-formal education comes in. Then smartphone usage and education opportunities, that widespread use of smartphones in rural areas is an opportunity to extend education, which was not there in a few years back during the pandemic. And there is a need to encourage the use of digital technologies for learning, not just being able to use smartphone, being able to operate apps like basic apps like Zoom, Google Meet, or let's say being able to read PDFs and highlight PDFs. There's so many things that you can do in a PDF as well. So such things need to be made more omnipresent. Then tracking digital technology usage and promoting constructive use. So teachers and civil society need to play a role in creating awareness regarding the constructive use of digital technology, so that when a student owns a smartphone, he does not just focus on opening getting access to YouTube. He goes to the channel he likes the most to gain education on YouTube. Okay, because entertainment comes very easy. Using a smartphone for entertainment, even friends can tell that. But the teachers and NGOs here, they need to be involved to be able to tell the students and motivate the students for using digital technologies for education. Okay, for this, digital literacy workshops can be organized for educating students for online behavior that is responsible, critical thinking skills, and responsible app usage. You know that a lot of digital abuse is also occurring, especially amongst the youth, and many people face mental harassment online. So if we carry out workshops from time to time and we provide students with certifications, probably we'll have better use and ethical use of digital technologies. So that was your way forward. It has been a long discussion, but trust me, this report is very important and it will take you way ahead if you use the findings of this report in your thought process, and that's how you start to perceive your country, through this report and through some very important data like this. Okay, now moving on to the conclusion, this is what was mentioned on the website of this ASER. They mentioned that when ordinary people are empowered with knowledge, they can bring about extraordinary change, which is very, very right. Kindly use this quote in your answers, and you don't have to mention the source, just use them as your own and in like double inverted commas. So now the way forward has been very, very long, so we can directly skip to writing a concluding line so that we do not skip the word limit. India has the largest youth population in the world. It is important to ensure that these young people have the skills and opportunities needed to help them build a better future for themselves, their families, and for the country. So why are we using this as a concluding line? Because first, we have provided solutions in our previous paragraphs as part of the answer. Hence, our conclusion cannot be very long. We used a quote. Secondly, we gave a perspective for the future, that youth, yes, they are important. And why they are important? Because they are involved in the nation making process of India, so that they can give themselves a better future, their families, and the country a better future. So I'm displaying the question again. By the time I display the question, I will take your doubts. So if you have any, then kindly let me know in the chat section. For those of you who are not aware of how Perspective 360 degree functions, you can post your own answers on this topic in 600 words in the next 48 hours. So it's Friday today. Post your answers positively by Sunday 5 p.m. in the YouTube comment section under this video, and you will be provided with free evaluation, and this free evaluation comes without any cost. We do not charge anything. Many students have improve their answer writing skills with the help of evaluation that we provide, and I hope that you do as well. The only formula you have to follow is stay consistent with these videos, read our PDF that will be available on our Telegram channel soon. We make it available the next day of broadcasting this video. Third, please post on a regular basis, write answers on a regular basis. In fact, use the gap days. Use the gap days in Perspective 360 degree to write answers on the static portion of your syllabus. Okay, so getting back to some doubts. Okay, ma'am, using some ESI static question, ma'am, bring some ESI static question also. Vishal, we do cover static topics with the help of current affairs topics as well. Now, with ESI, I recommend that you cover that on like Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when Perspective 360 degree is not live. But yes, if we find some important topics which I'm like presuming to find in future, because budget and economic survey would be out in a month, so then we'll definitely bring out some topics which are from static portion as well. Okay. Okay, Lucifer. I will keep a balance for all the needs of all the aspirants. Thank you for your patience. The previous video of Perspective 360 had some technical issues, and today we were delayed by a few minutes. So thanks for being patient with all the issues that were encountered. I hope that the session has been helpful to you. If it has been, then kindly let me know in the comment section how are these videos helping you. You can contact us at this phone number or this email ID. You can write a feedback for us at this email ID. I'll be happy to read. I'll be happy to hear from you. Take care, and all the very best for your preparation. Do post your answers on time.